Hello, in this video I would like to go over designing and tuning an engine in automation game. Now this video will be titled Advanced Engine Design, meaning that it's not necessarily a beginner's guide. Now if you are a beginner, it doesn't mean that you can't follow along. I'm just not gonna go through every single setting in the engine designer. First I'm gonna lay out some general ideas, and then I'm gonna focus on specific details to hopefully help you make your build your engines better. Now, the very first thing we have to do, we have to think about before we will actually start playing with the settings, is what kind of engine we want to build, broadly speaking. Is it gonna be small displacement efficiency build, or sports car, or supercar, or something to a truck? Well, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna build a rather powerful sports car engine, which I'm gonna set up so it reflects the performance of real life engines. By performance I mean, of course, power, the power curve, and efficiency, which implies fuel consumption. Now, the three steps in which I like to build the engines are as follows. First, just rough build optimized only for efficiency. Second, based on what my goal is, I'll see how much I can compromise on the efficiency for power. And the third step is just fine-tuning it to get as much out of it as possible. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into it. I'm gonna go quickly through the settings, and I'm gonna stop at anything I think is important and what is needed to explain a little more. Anyway, so let's do 90 degrees 8 cylinder. Let's go for fully aluminium overhead cam. 4 valves, aluminium as well. Variable valve length, of course. This is kinda common setup, as you would probably find it in 2012. I'm gonna leave the displacement. Okay, let's go for forged internals. Compression. Now I'm gonna leave that be, just variable valve timing as well. Now I'm gonna go for turbocharged if I want any hopes of actually reflecting current engines, as most of them will be turbocharged as well. So turbocharged ball bearing, I'm gonna leave this be for now. Injection, direct injection, per cylinder, standard intake. Let's go premium 95 octane fuel, sounds reasonable. I'm gonna leave that be, except for the RPL limit. I'm gonna definitely go for at least 760, let's say. Okay, dual exhaust, walls, catalytic converter as well, and just no mufflers for now. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at the flowchart, and I'm gonna get rid of the bottlenecks in the airflow, which is the intercooler and exhaust. So let's increase the exhaust diameter and also the intercooler heat exchange capacity. Nice. Okay. Now this is a very rough setup of the engine, and now I'm gonna focus on the first step, as I described before, which is focusing it solely on fuel efficiency. Now, actually the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna hop into the top end settings and I'm gonna lower the compression significantly. And by doing that, I'm gonna lower the octane rating so much that there's very little chance that I'm gonna run into knocking while adjusting all the other settings. Okay, so let's start with the aspiration. I'm gonna select fuel economy mode, and now because of how the turbos work in the game right now, a reasonable setting is AR ratio to the max and turbine as low as possible. Now we lost quite a lot of power, but we gained some fuel efficiency. We're gonna get the power back. Okay, fuel system, I'm gonna, I guess, make the fuel mixture actually higher, gaining quite a lot of fuel efficiency. And now I'm just gonna go through all of these sliders and look for all the ways I can gain some fuel efficiency. So I know that by, for example, lowering cam profile, I'm gonna probably get some more. Still going, still going. Okay. Now it's starting to decrease again, so I'm gonna leave it at 22. Let's check the VVL profile. Okay, it seems it's right in the right spot. It's the same for the compressor. Turbine as well. Can't get any more efficiency from that. AR ratio is at the top. Max boost. Okay. Just a little bit of efficiency right there. Okay, so now this is the first step tune-up done. Since I'm done with the rough tuning, I can bring the compression up again. Maybe to 10, and also let's higher the ignition rating. Alright. Well, wait. It actually lowers my efficiency? Well. So, after the first step, what we ended up at is 350 horsepower at 31% fuel efficiency. Now, if I'm gonna take this engine, go to car designer, just very quickly set up whatever car put the engine in. Okay, so this is a reasonably realistic car setup, and we can see that with the engine I'm getting 7.8 liters per 100 kilometers, which is gonna be less once I tune it. I can probably get it a bit Well, maybe not. Seems like I hit the sweet spot right away. So what we have now is a like a luxury or premium sedan with a 4-liter V8, 350 horsepower and 7.8 liters fuel efficiency. Now that's a really good fuel efficiency, probably too good. In real life, if you want to have a powerful engine and you will spend a lot of money on the car, you don't want horrendous fuel efficiency, but you wouldn't mind something like 10 liters or 11 liters. And if we look at how the realistic cars perform, we can see that usually cars in this category have around 10 to 12 liters of fuel efficiency while pushing not 350 but more like 600 horsepower. So that is that will be the second step, optimizing the engine for what we actually want once we have the baseline set with the fuel efficiency built. Okay, I'm back in the Engine Designer. I've created a clone or another variant of the engine that's now sitting in the car we made, and now I want to compromise the fuel efficiency because I can afford it basically, and just see how much I can boost the power. Okay, so by looking at this, I guess that it's a good idea to start with the turbo. So let's do just that. Okay, compressor, let's see. And also, I should have started with that as well. Once again, I'm gonna go to top end and I'm gonna lower the compression significantly to avoid knocking while adjusting the settings. Okay, I can see that by increasing turbine diameter and compressor diameter, the power is happily going up while the fuel efficiency is happily going down. So okay, it doesn't seem to be that much efficient anymore, so I'm gonna leave it as it is. Okay, so after just boosting the turbo settings, I have increased the power to around 440 horsepower, while the fuel efficiency is still above 26%, which is not bad. So with careful tweaking, I could definitely get it up by maybe 10 more horsepower with the same fuel efficiency, but let's just leave it now. So what happened is, as I started increasing all the settings, not only in the aspiration but the fuel system as well, I hit the point of diminishing returns basically. When I started tuning the engine, I very quickly went to 400 horsepower, and then it was kind of slow climb while the fuel efficiency was happily declining. So now I'm at the spot where it is no longer worth it to trying to get more from the engine. It's just gonna the fuel efficiency is just gonna drop super quickly now. Now I'm not saying that the sweet spot is exactly at 26.5 fuel efficiency. It's gonna be somewhere around this number or this settings. Anyway, let me hop into the car designer. And let's put the new engine in. Okay, so let me just tweak this. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we are at 9.3 liters per 100 kilometers, which is still quite low, and we are putting out 450 horsepower, which is more adequate, I would say. Now, if 450 horsepower is not enough, and we want to increase that still, as I said, it's not a very good idea to try to bash more power from the engine that we have. However, a very simple thing that we can do is just make the engine bigger. Now, I have created a new engine with a higher displacement of 4.6 liters. I pretty much copied all the settings, so almost none of this changed, as well as the profile of the power curve. We are at 26.3 fuel efficiency, which is slightly worse, and we are at 525 horsepower, which is quite a bit higher. So let's put this engine into the car. Okay, so with our new engine we have fuel economy of 9.6 liters, which is the same as before, but we have quite a significantly higher power. Now I will address two things here. First, you might wonder, how is it that we have basically the same fuel economy while just, you know, getting more power? It's like free power, let's just make the engine really big. And that's basically true, because by increasing the engine displacement we don't what we do is that we increase the capacity of the engine to produce the power, but that doesn't mean that the engine has to use that power to just coast along at 9.6 liters. It's gonna basically use just as much power as the weaker engine, and therefore use the same, have the same fuel economy. But for example, if we were like just driving on a track the whole day, this new engine, because of its higher capacity to use the fuel, it would have definitely quite a bit higher fuel or worse fuel economy, let's say, than the smaller one. And now another thing arises, which is, well, let's just take the engine from before, which had 31% efficiency, and make it bigger. You know, just gain power and have 7.6 liters or how much we had, and that's also true, but the problem is that at this kind of efficiency the engine would have to be really big, and that would of course cause other problems. So weight, maybe cost quite a bit, and also it wouldn't fit anymore into the car. Also, I just want to say, for anyone who might be annoyed by it, that I was optimizing the drivetrain for the fuel efficiency or the fuel economy, just to kinda set the bar for all the engines, the same bar. But of course this is not the gearing that you would like. You would probably like something more like this, so that the power peaks at the top speed. Anyway, which, you know, does mess up the fuel economy a little bit. Anyway, so this is all for this video. I hope you learned something, and of course if you have any questions, just ask in the comments. I will respond to them. And yeah, see you later.